All right, welcome to our Tuesday class. This is our command overview. Chances are you're new to Keller Williams or you've been with Keller for a while and just wanting to figure out what we have to offer you here. So thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. If you have any questions, please post them in our chat right here. And if it's something I don't get to during class, you can just reach out to the email I just added to the chat, support@scottleroymarketing.com. And if everyone can just confirm, or maybe a couple of you just confirm that you can hear me just by typing yes in the chat and that you can see my screen over here. Awesome, thank you. Good morning, thank you. I hope you guys had a great weekend, a nice long one. All right, so we're just gonna do a command overview. Hi from Seattle, hi from Florida, clear across the country. So we're gonna go to agent.kw.com and that will take us to this page. And then you're going to put in your username and password. Now the username is not case sensitive, but the password is. So just keep that in mind. And most of our browsers will save our password. So if you're ever not sure what your password is, you can always just click on this little eyeball and it'll show you your saved password. So we're going to go ahead and click on sign in. And what we're going to do is just basically do a quick rundown of everything Command has to offer you, where to find certain things. And keep in mind, as I go through these different applets and different options, we have classes that do a very deep dive, a lot deeper than I'm getting today, and can show you all of the features and bells and whistles way more in depth. So I'll just be your tour guide for today, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so as you can see, we're right here on our home screen. This is basically our dashboard. So all of this here is customizable. So chances are yours doesn't look exactly like Scott's does. Right here, he's chosen to see goals first, then a notepad, tasks, recent leads. And if I scroll down a bit, we've got our database health, product updates, and design updates. I'm going to scroll back up. So I'm going to show you how you can customize that. It's this little action item teal button called Customize Home. And so let's say if you wanted to see product updates first, you just grab that, click on it, and then release it. And then let's see if we wanted to see tasks first, we would do that. So you can arrange these widgets however you would like. And if I'm not interested in seeing tasks or goals when I first log in, I can just unselect that and it's not there. If you make any changes, make sure you just click on apply. I'm going to hit cancel so we can keep the way Scott wants it. All right, so we're going to just look at this in brief. Here's your goals section. If you haven't set your goals yet, we recommend doing so. It might be a great time for you to do that, just to start to review where you're at, where you wanted to be. We can show you where you can set your goals here in a few moments, but I do want to point out that it'll show you year to date and month to date. On our notepad, this is basically our virtual sticky note. So we can add in a new note here. This is my note from last time I taught the class. What's the date today, the 6th? And then if you just click off of it, it's saved right there. So nothing fancy, but a great way to kind of keep you on task. And speaking of tasks, we've got this right here. So this will show us what's coming up, what our priority is. We can arrange it by due date. Now this gives you the option to select contact tasks and opportunity tasks. And if I was part of leadership with a Market Center, I could select onboarding tasks. And it does make sense if you think about it. There are going to be different tasks that you do relating to your transaction versus relating to a lead that you just got or a new contact. And right over here on the right-hand side, we can see our recent leads. Anytime you see this little L in a circle, that means it's a lead. So it looks like Morgan was our last lead. He came in through the KW app/website, and that was 5 days ago. And then we can click on these three dots. Whenever you see those three dots, that means you have another little menu option. So we can unmark Morgan as a lead, or we can add him straight to a smart plan from here. So that's kind of cool to get a quick little overview. And then right down here at the bottom, it says viewing page 1 of 3. Can you guys see that? And if you click on the little arrow / caret, it'll take you through the other pages. I also want to point out on the tasks, you can create a task right from here. Now your database health, if you are a visual person who likes numbers and reports, you can take an overview of your database. They say anything around 50% is good. You can see that Scott does most of his database, most of his marketing through email. So he's sitting at 94%. Now the comparison that it's doing is, it says right here, agents in my market center. And we can change that right here to agents in my state, all agents, or agents in my production bracket. So if you're a reports kind of person, you might like that. And then product updates. This is really fun to be able to see what's new. Let's see, last week it says there's available translations in 10 languages. We can also switch to what's next. You see this little arrow here, and it'll show what's up for Q4. Task unification dashboard widget, profit share widget. Oh, that's cool. Filtering updates for contacts and bulk action improvement. I like that. So just some things to look forward to with KWRI, and you know it is designed by agents for agents. So if you ever have any ideas, remember, let them know, ideas.kw.com, and I'll show you where you can do that directly from command here in a moment. And then here's design updates. I love that they do this for us because honestly, we can just click on this, stick our information in, add it to a smart plan, some sort of campaign, and send this out. So we don't have to spend time creating all these designs. They will do it for us. So that's your home page, your dashboard at a glance. And then on the left-hand side, I will show you there's this red KW, and then there's a series of icons underneath it. If we click on the red KW, it will tell us what each of these applets are. Or if we hover over it, it'll tell us what it is. If you don't want to waste time trying to decide what this is versus what this is, though, I just recommend clicking on this red KW. And we will go through more of these in depth, but I just wanted to show you over here what we've got. And then we have Connect right here, which they're working on building this up. This is something that's kind of been in the works for a while, but it's almost like a Facebook feed. You can belong to different groups. You can see Atlanta has 330 members. So it's gaining a little traction. You can, ask for referrals in here if you want, but it basically reads exactly like Facebook newsfeed. And then your profile is actually, since we're here, right here. So this is not your marketing profile, and those are two very different things, so I want to decipher between those two. The profile that other agents are seeing in our Connect, which is our, similar to Facebook, is coming from here. So we're going to click on that actually. And this you can sort of cater to other agents, why other agents should refer their clients to you. So you might want to update your bio in here because it is specifically for agents, whereas in your marketing profile, your bio is for clients, potential customers. And you can click on edit profile right here. There's a lot of this that is not editable. So your name, for example, not editable, but this is the bio. And one thing, if you're not getting referrals, you want to check on this, make sure that this little teal button is clicked on, that you're opted in for referrals. And then he's also selected to show closed units on his profile page so other agents can see that. A few other options right there. And then always make sure you click on Save Changes. All right, so that's Connect. It's basically KWRI's version of Facebook. And you see I've got Command MC. This means that he has some access to some leadership within the market centers. So if you're not seeing that, no big deal, don't panic. All right, this is our marketplace. It kind of looks like a little store. This is basically like your Apple Play Store or Google Play. I'll go ahead and click on it for you. You can see it pops up a new tab. And this is where you can add Homekeeper if you have that. There's a bunch of new integrations that they have in here. If you don't want to scroll through and you know exactly what it is you want, you can just type it in right here. And if you're not sure if you already have the app or not, you can just click on My Apps. So it looks like he's got Homekeeper, API Nation, Loop. All right, so that is our marketplace. It is similar to your Apple Store, Google Play place, and you can add integrations to work together with Command. Gary Keller's vision was for us to be doing all of our work out of one central platform, which I love, keeping you organized and you don't have to hop around and keep track of your subscriptions. If you've been on any sort of social media, you will know exactly what this is. This means that you've got a notification on this little bell right here. So if you're doing an import, an export, if you've got a new lead, it'll show up here. Here's that lead that we were talking about earlier. Here's our Twilio credit information. You can dismiss the notifications one at a time, or you can dismiss them all. Either way, so that's your notifications button. And then here is our headshot with our drop-down menu, and you'll get to most places from here. So what I want to look at is settings. We've already looked at the profile. We've already looked at the marketplace. If you don't have a team right here, that's normal if you're not on a team. There you can see here there's Command training also. So it's kind of a Command University situation. And then here's our settings. So we're going to click on that. And if you're just joining us, we're doing a Command overview. So just walking you through all the features that Command has to offer. We do have other classes coming up later this week that'll walk you through building your website, utilizing your mobile app, adding to your marketing. So I'll try to drop the schedule in the chat here before we go to. All right, so when I click on settings, it takes me to this page. So I can see my integrations. I can see what's already connected. So we've already got DocuSign connected. And here's our status right here. I've got Facebook connected, and there's 2 Facebook spots that you're going to want to connect if you're going to do like any type of paid ads through Facebook. So you want post scheduling, so you can just schedule posts randomly and people who like your page will see the posts just come up. And then there's your ads manager, which is different. So you want to make sure both of those show that they're connected. He's got Loop, Twitter, Keller covered, says not connected, Google Calendar not connected, but lots of options you can do straight from here. Your command email, I just want to show you really quick. If we click on manage, they will give you up to 5,000 emails to use a month for free. You can manage your subscription here, and that'll give you options to buy more. The sender name is editable, so if you want it to show us something different, and then the reply to email is also editable. So we'll click off of that. It looks like he's got MailChimp and Twilio. So these are all the integrations so far that Scott has added to Command. Clicking on Connect More Apps will take us to the marketplace. All right, so we're going to get started on the left-hand side with, let's see, general settings. If you had a team, it would show you some of your team options as far as permissions go. Command settings, you're not going to play in here a lot. If you were to archive your contacts or something, it would show up in here. We don't recommend doing a database wipe. But there are some editable items in here if you want to click in there. Connect settings is where you're going to go to probably the most, and that's where our marketing profile is hidden. So I clicked on a lot of things. Let me click back up. So when you come in initially from here to settings, and then connect settings, marketing profile, this is where your app pulls your information from. This is where your website pulls your information from. This is where your smart plans, all your campaigns, everything comes from here. So we do have our website 101 class where we go over this in great depth. I'm just going to touch on it briefly so that we have time to go over all the other stuff. All right, so the headshot, they do recommend 360 by 360. And if it shows up a little distorted or stretched out right here, it will look distorted everywhere. So if it's not looking right, if you're squished in there, send that to us. Let us help you out. support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can get that to the exact right size for you. It does have to be a square. So keep in mind, if you're sending us a long shot with a rectangle, we're probably not going to be able to include all of that in your photo, but we'll do our very best. And then with the team logo, we do recommend you put something in there whether you're on a team or not. If you do send some smart plans and there's nothing where the team logo is supposed to go, it will almost look like a broken image. So just make sure you're putting something in there. You can do the Realtor R logo. He's got the KW logo, which I love. If this was a team logo, usually they're a little bit longer than this. They're more of a rectangle shape. And if it appears distorted here, keep in mind Command is smart enough to work it out. So headshot, it won't work it out. Team logo, it will work it out. So, all right. And then we've got our name, license number. We do get the question about the name a lot. If your name is, I don't know, Johnny and you go by John, or I don't know if your name is Josephine and you go by Josie, you just want to double check with your board to make sure that you're in compliance. Our boards require that if you have a nickname, it is listed on your license as a nickname. So just stay out of hot water that way. And then we've got a professional job title. There are certain states that require certain verbiage right here. So your real estate marketing specialist or licensed real estate professional. I think New York does that one. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But there are certain states that require certain verbiage right there. And then for your slogan, we just put in for all your real estate needs. But you can put in whatever slogan you have for your own brand. And for designations, he's got Realtor with the R. And this is my fun trick I like to share every class is if you want to do it with me, you can type in the Alt key, like hold down the Alt key. And then at the same time, do 0174 and let go. And there's your little Realtor R. We've got military affiliations. You can choose whether you're active duty, reserves, veteran, and then you can choose which branch you're in. And there's a lot of people that will look for referrals who are, fellow veterans or, something who understands that. So that's a great way to get some referrals. And then the bio, we've got this formatted exactly as we want. If we did your setup, you probably have this generic bio already. You're welcome to tweak that however you want or type up your own. Just make sure that the spacing looks correct here. How it appears here is how it appears everywhere on your marketing. And then we've got mobile phone and office phone. You see that they're the same, which I approve of. If we were at a market center, we would put our market center number here. But there are some agents who end up putting the market center office phone number here. And I'm just here to tell you that that is not a requirement. And if you want to make sure all those leads go directly to your cell phone, I recommend duplicating your mobile phone into this column. And then that way you'll never lose out on a lead. And then for your email, it can be whatever email you want. It doesn't have to be at kw.com. Wherever you want your business emails to go. And if this was our .kw.com website, oops, our subdomain, we would have to have obviously the .kw, but the HTTPS is important, and keep in mind there's no www. And if you have that, it will appear as a broken link. So just wanted to point that out to you real quick. We can also have it point to a third-party domain. So if you've bought something on maybe GoDaddy, I'm not really sure about other names. I don't think Wix offers forwarding unless you pay extra. But if you bought a third-party domain on GoDaddy, we can add that here. We can forward your GoDaddy domain to kw.com, but we cannot forward the kw.com domain to your third-party domain. So hopefully that makes sense to you. If not, just send in a question. And then here's our Market Center brokerage logo, our DBA logo. If you don't have that, you can find it right here by putting, you can't click on the link. I don't know why it's not clickable. I wish it was, but you can copy that and paste it in a new tab. If you can't find it that way, feel free to reach out to us, support@scholarlymarketing.com, and we can help you find it. If we did your setup though, chances are it's already here. And you can see again, this looks stretched out and distorted, but Command is smart enough, fortunately, to be able to fix that for us. So we won't have to worry about that. All right, there's our Market Center number. We've got our legal footer text, which this doesn't necessarily need to appear there because Command KWRI already added it to every page on our website. So you could take the opportunity to say that you're licensed in 2 states, or really about anything goes here. I haven't seen any state so far that requires something here because we already have the legal footer text covered because KWRI added that for us. Here's our legal footer link. So if you're in Texas or in New York, you are required to have the IABS link URL and the CPN as well as the SOP, a bunch of acronyms. And if you're not in either of those states, it doesn't matter. We have seen some people add in their Redfin partner link right here. So if that's something, feel free to reach out and we can help you do that. But you would just click on add another link. And then as long as we had the URL, we could help you add that. And then if you want to get rid of it, just click on the little garbage can. Legal footer images. Anything can go here for the most part. It just has to be JPEG or PNG, but being that it's only 128 by 48, it's just going to be a tiny little thumbnail. But if you are a Bold graduate and you want to add the Bold logo, if you're affiliated with, Homes for Heroes, some sort of home buying program like that, we can add it here for you. And with your socials, I just want to make sure that you are using the exact URL from your social. So if you were to go to your Facebook page from a new tab, I just want to make sure that you're copying that exact URL and putting it down here. So if you wanted to have your Instagram be at your username, if you were to add that here, it would not be a clickable link for your clients. And that's what shows up on our drop-down menu on your website. Google Analytics is not currently functioning on the Command websites, unfortunately. They've recently done an update and we're hopeful that Command will be updating on our end soon. Google Analytics basically helps track traffic to your website, and it shows you different reports giving you all the details about what sort of traction your website is getting. And then on the left-hand side, global settings, there's nothing in here. So maybe there will be someday. And then this is for leadership, so you don't have to worry about those. But everyone, hopefully you know how to get to your marketing profile. It's top right-hand corner, settings, and then it's hiding under connect settings. And with that, we will go into our contacts. That's right here. It's the little person in the square. If you hover over it, it'll tell you it's contacts. And we do have classes that go over your database and how to work your database and the best practices and things like that. I just want to point out a couple of things. If you have a database that you had in Brivity or Boomtown or something like that, there's probably a way that you can export. And then if you need help formatting, let us help you with the import. Command requires very specific fields be filled out very exactly. So, oh, Mary Cruz, where do you find your Google Analytics ID number? We've got a question in the chat. It is, if you logged into Google, you'd have to open a new tab, go to Google, and I actually, within Google, type in analytics and it'll just pop it up. So there's probably another way to get there, but that's how I've been able to find it. And it should show you what your number is if you've got it set up already. Okay, so let us help you with your import. It is probably, unless you're an Excel person and you love doing spreadsheets, then by all means be our guest. But we'd like to get you out there doing the money-making activity and let us help you with the mundane details of getting your database headed over here. So if we were going to do it, we'd click on import, and this is where we would drag a CSV file. And this is the template that command requires. And as you look at it, you can see it is very specific and trying to just use whatever format Boomtown gave you and throw it into here. It's probably not going to work. You'll get an error message in your notifications right here. You can also add contacts one at a time too. So if that's easier for you, do that. Timothy, yeah, no, that's fine. Great question. Is it back to change? Is it possible to change your KW website URL? It definitely is. And I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. Hang on with me for about 15 minutes and we'll get there. But it is definitely possible. All right, and then here we've got these 3 dots again. So you can see you can export mailing labels, PDF or CSV, or you can just export your contacts if you're going to put them somewhere else. When searching, you can search by everything. You can do first name, last name, whatever you want. And if you've got tags in here, the filter button's going to be awesome for you. This is where you would select which tags you want to see. And I don't know if he's got any of those, but. And then if you ever can't find somebody, just check to see if your filters on button is there. And then you might want to click on clear all and then apply. And then I just want to point out, this is showing us 1 through 16 of 16. But if you had, let's say 200, you could select it to show 1 through 200 of 200. And then if we had more than this, we could also bulk select. So if we wanted to add multiple people that are tagged specifically onto a smart plan or something, we could select this button and then we would be able to select all of our contacts instead of doing 16 at a time. I just wanted you to know, and that's how it used to be actually. So we're really excited about this update. But you can see, you can just straight from here, you can add tags, add to email list, add to smart plan, all sorts of options. So, all right, that's it for contacts. I'm going to show you tasks a little bit, and then I'm going to spend most of our time in consumer. But the tasks are very cool, and I am somebody who needs a checklist, and I really like to be able to do that little check mark. So this is where you would search your task names. We've got a filter again, but let's look at the create a new task button. All right, so look, we have up to 4,000 characters here. Up to 255 characters here. That's great. We could, okay, so we'll add all our information in, add a due date, and hit create task. This is we're in contact tasks. I wanted to see if I could do an opportunity task from here, but I may not be able to do that. Create task. Okay, that might be in another section. So here we have our tasks to do, and then you can also see here's completed tasks. So that is also satisfying, seeing everything you've done. And then you've got this little arrow down at the bottom where you can scroll through. We've also got archived and expired. Tasks to do. I need to add an opportunity task so I can see it from here. We'll get that done for you for next time. Nora. Yeah, no problem. She's asking how she can get contacts from her phone to command. So we recommend a program called SA Lite, Lite. And if you want to email us, we can send you all the information on it. It'll kind of give you a little bit more details, but SA Lite, SALITE. Okay, tasks. So then we've got our smart plans. There's so much in the smart plans. So your smart plans probably looks a little different than mine. I've got 25 people plans. But the way I got them was by either creating them myself, which I can do right here on the right-hand side, but why reinvent the wheel? You can click on library and you have unlimited options. So KWRI has organized these in a few different categories. The first one is featured. Scrolling down, we've got Keller Williams, top rated, and what's new. So you can see Tiffany Townsend is the author. She doesn't have any ratings yet. On this one, we've got Jordan Devlin's the author. Oh, it's a Halloween one. Oh, that's 2022, 2021. Here we've got Keller Williams, and a lot of these are tried and true, so probably check these out first. You can click on this little arrow right here to see all. This kind of gives you an overview, so it's almost like we're in the App Store. We can see what kind of rating it has, how many downloads it's had. We can see that there's 3 steps and 91 days duration, and basically we're coming into contact with our client one time. And then you can even click on view steps and it'll show you a little bit more of what that looks like. So if we like that smart plan, we can add it in and then that will automatically go to our library or my smart plans from the library. And then looking at our smart plans, we can add a contact, edit, and then those 3 dots, we can either copy it, publish to library so other people have access to it if they don't already, or delete it, whatever we want to do there. So we do have a Smart Plans class that Taylor teaches, and she is amazing. So you want to hop on one of her classes. And if you want to watch a class that we've done last week or the week before, just hop on our YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/ScottLurry and you can pause and go at your own pace. Arlene asks, can I export my plans from Top Producer? Ooh, do you have smart plans in Top Producer? No one's asked me that before. That's a great question. Yeah, no, I don't believe that you can export your plans from Top Producer. I'm willing to bet we could find something similar. And if not, Taylor could probably walk you through how to create one that's almost identical, but that would be amazing if you could copy the exact plan. I would love that. Okay, smart plans. So Taylor is the expert on that. So look for her classes on our YouTube channel or coming up in the coming weeks. Referrals is a fun little tab that's right under our smart plans, and it's the little guy on a map. And I do teach a referrals class. I've taught it twice, but I feel like I'm getting familiar with it. So I would love for you to join me. This one is super fun. So if you have clients or family who are in Idaho and you want to send them to an agent and get that referral, you can come in here and look by production. So I'm just going to type in Idaho Falls, Idaho, and the map will just zoom in. And then boom, I've got 157 results right here. They're sorted by production. I can do by market center, people who are already in my network, and then referral patterns is really fun too. We'll go into more detail on that later. And then also I can sort right here. So I just wanted you to see this sort. It says random. I can sort by closed units, listing sold, or I can search by name. We can also do a broadcast referral. Let's say we've got somebody going to Idaho Falls and we want multiple people to get back to us and kind of win the bid. We can do it that way as well. So lots to be learned, lots to play with in referrals. So I'd love to have you join me. I think I'm doing one maybe at the end of this week. So I will let you know. I'm going to try to drop that schedule in here. Opportunities is your opportunity to make money. So that's the little handshake icon that you see here. It'll automatically default. Do you see it defaults to the dream team? So if it's a team-owned opportunity, there's also him and then all opportunities. Now this will automatically show you who's in Cultivate, who's in Appointment, and that's good for visual people who like to drag stuff around. It's not my favorite, can you tell? I click on all opportunities because I want to see a list, I want to see names, I want to see information. So this is where I always come, is all opportunities. I don't want to search around in here and try to find which of my clients are hiding in which category. So that's my little tip, is to click on all opportunities, and you can search by address, contact, right here. All right, and then we do have an opportunities class that goes over this in more depth, but you can create an opportunity. I just want to point out, if you're in 2 different market centers, or if you know somebody who is and they say, oh, all my stuff is pulling up in this city, you can click on this. It'll tell you some of the other market centers that you belong to. So keep that in mind. We've also got our campaigns, and there's so many options in here. We've got our dashboard, so it kind of just shows us what connected accounts we have, what paid ads, social posts, which channels we have. And then I do love these quick posts because, again, why reinvent the wheel? So I can take this, tweak it to my specifications of my, client database, my location, and add that to my social media. There's also tips and training you guys can do here. And then there's advanced tips as well. So it will walk you through that. We also offer a class on campaigns, and that is also taught by Taylor. We've got our Facebook connected and our email connected, but if we wanted to connect more, we would just click on this. And then I just want to point out dashboards, paid ads, emails, direct mail, and social posts. If we were going to click on social posts, it'll tell us what we have coming up. We can just go straight over to create campaign. So now I'm going to jump over to designs because we have to be congruent. So I just want to show you. You would click on create designs. Did you see it's this little paintbrush right here? Click on create design, and then this says social, and then you hit continue. So what I'm demonstrating is, if you want to do a social ad, make sure it's a social design. If you wanted to do a print ad, you wouldn't do a social design. Does that make sense? So you just want to make sure you're selecting the same things here. We also have a designs class that goes over all of this in greater detail. Let's see if my back button's going to work here. And chances are your designs looks a little bit different than mine. And that's okay. We've created designs, we've imported designs. You can import from Canva or, other third-party options. I skipped over reports, but I will just click on it really quick to show you. It's just a great visual of where you are in your business. So if you are the type of person that needs to see that visual display, it should come up here in a minute, but maybe not, because it's a live class. Technology. All right, so here we go. It's the dashboard. And there's not a ton of information in here just because our database is limited. You're probably going to have a lot more information here. There we go. So really nice for you to be able to see where your leads are coming in from. You can even select on reports, your opportunities report, goals report, database report. Here's where we would set our goals. This way we can look at lead routing, emails, texts, and calls. So lots of information in there for you high C people. Have you guys taken the DISC test yet? The DISC? All right, listings, I'll show you really quick. And it's just the picture of the sign, the yard sign. I might have broken it. We'll give it a minute. There it goes. Okay, so as you can see, we have not synced our MLS yet. So there's an opportunity to click that here, and then also right up here. So if we did have a listing, we could search by the address or by the MLS number. We would enter that here. A pop-up would say, is this your listing? Are you the primary agent? You would hit yes. It'll say, thank you. We just sent you a confirmation email, and that is how you sync your MLS. So virtually all of your listings that you have through KWLS, the MLS, would be here also. And then consumer, I promised you I'd spend a little bit of time in here. This is my playground right here. So we're going to click on consumer. It's the very bottom left one. And we're going to go across and then over, and then I'll show you how to do featured listings at the very end. So it automatically takes us to agent site pages. So a lot of people will say, what is my website? So that is right here, and you can click on that. That'll take you right to your website. We've also got landing pages. So think of this as a one-off type page. So if you're doing an open house for a specific open house, you can have a generic one too if you want, but you can use that as a sign-up sheet for when people come. If you have like an iPad or your laptop right there, welcome, sign in. And that way they put their contact information in and an opportunity for you to get in touch with them. So landing pages are super easy, and I am doing a class on that, I believe, later this month as well. But so those are one-off pages, whereas this is your whole website. And then collections is a new thing. We haven't really played in that very much, but basically, you know how you can do a saved search? You can kind of shop for homes for your clients through your MLS, and it will send them, you know, here's some information that you might like. This is the kind of the same concept. And then we'll click on site and app settings in the top right-hand corner. And then it takes us over here. Also, I want to point out, if your stuff is not branded to you, let's say you send your app to somebody and it doesn't have your name and your headshot, your website says kw.com and not your name, just make sure this is toggled on too. You'll also notice that in the marketing profile, but I just wanted to point that out. So here's where you would change your agent site hero text. Everyone has this default that's brought to you by KWRI, but you can change that to whatever you want. I've got a friend who was on TV, so this is her slogan. And then if you wanted to switch these pictures out, you could, but I would have to take out at least one picture to add another one because it's a max of 5. But if this is not the landscape in the area where I'm trying to sell houses, I might want to delete some of these and then go to like Shutterstock and find something that looks a little bit more similar. You just want to make sure you don't get into any copyright issues with other people's images. You would just upload that right here. This says 1200 by 1200, but on our website 101 class, we recommend 1200 by 600 because it's not a square. And it has to be JPEG or PNG. This is a new option that Keller Williams just added. It's basically, we know in the business as a forced lead capture. So this is where you can decide how many times people can view properties before they have to put their information in. So you can say they can look as many times as they want. I'll give them 10 times before I ask for their information. If we set you up, chances are it's at 2, so they get to look at 2 properties before they're asked to register. Or you can say no one's going to look at properties without registering. So that is all up to you. This is actually customizable right here, so you can do something cute right there. We also have an option for virtual tours. If you have a virtual tour, you can select your listing here. And then I just want to show you preferences really quick. It's this little hidden caret right here. You can see Scott has selected that Keller Mortgage is enabled on his app and site. So great way for him to show clients that he wants them to save money. Keller Covered, another option, and then neighborhoods. So it's all of that's enabled. If we made any changes, as always, we click on Save Changes. And this was someone's question from a while ago. How do I change my URL? There you go. Okay. Timothy, this is for you if you're still here. So you can create a unique subdomain. It can take up to 15 minutes once you change it. There are some market centers that have said you can't use real estate or realtor in your URL, so you might want to check on that first. But yeah, sky's the limit, really. So there you go. You can change it all you want. Just give yourself 15 minutes before it is reflected. Basically, if somebody already has it, you can't have it. You're welcome. And then, and if it's like, very generic, it probably won't get picked. So if it was John Smith, there's probably already a johnsmith.kw.com. So, and then you're going to click on Save Changes. Now, if you do change your subdomain, don't forget to go back into your marketing profile and update it there because that's where all your information pulls from. And y'all remember how to do that, right? This is your quiz at the end of the class. All right, so that's how you do that. And then featured listings is so fun. You can have up to 12 listings. So a great way for you to feature your listings. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be your listings. You just want to check with the listing agent and your broker before you list somebody else's property. Just make sure you're following all the rules, but you can adjust the headline, but it just says featured listings. Here's where you would select your listings. Now this is coming up as only my listings, but I can switch on that and make it say all listings. And I can search by property address or MLS number. And then I should show you, I don't know what Scott's website looks like, but I want to show you when all of this is done. So if I had 12 listings, if I wanted to add any more, I would have to come in and delete a couple. So there's your little garbage can, or you can delete all listings and then just click on Save Changes. I'm going to see if his website has that on there. All right, so that is how your featured listings show up just right here. They aren't manually maintained at the time, unfortunately, but it's a great idea that you can submit to ideas.kw.com. So that once it's active, it automatically shows up as a featured listing, and once it's sold or pending, it automatically goes off. Chris said, "You're welcome, Timothy." Chris said, "Does Command integrate with Buffini's referral maker?" You guys, I don't know. I'm actually gonna ask the audience to help on that one because I'm not actually familiar with that. Buffini's referral maker. All right, if we can't find the answer in here, email my colleagues and someone there will know. Oh, it's their CRM app. Probably, I'm guessing not. But you never know. You never know. Okay, so and then if we wanted to create a new page, which we're not going to do, but I'm just going to show you how you can do it or how you can edit an existing page. So and then we have details on our website 101 class and website 201 class, but let's say this is not showing up the way we want it to. We click on these three dots right here and click on edit. And then generally we would come in here and click on configure widgets in the bottom right hand corner. I have two widgets in here, so it's asking me which one, so we'll just select one. And this is where you can come in and make some selections, tweak it how you want it to be, and then just make sure you click on save and apply, and then publish page. I don't want to change anything, so I'm backing out of it. If I have this new agent site right here, and it's a gray eyeball, that means it's not active on my site. So I maybe don't want that at all. So I would just click on delete. Although this is Scott's, so I'm not going to do that. And then if you wanted to create a new page, that would be done right here in the top right-hand corner. And then it automatically asks you, do you want it on your website or do you want it as a standalone landing page? We can say on my agent site, create page. And then you've got all these widgets right here that you can just drag and drop. And if you don't like it, you just click on it, like inside of it, and then click on the little garbage can. So yeah, we'll go into more depth on that in the Website 101 and Website 201 class. I think that's everything I have for you today. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and I'll probably hang out for about 5 more minutes if you have any other questions. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for putting up with all the technical difficulties. Have a great week, everyone.